Alright folks, I'm getting it cleaned up. We're going to ride on my scooter today. You can see there, it's not so messy. I'm still not done. But what I'm doing, all of our ornamental plants that we plan on keeping, it's going right here. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's 13 plants in that corner. 13 plants. Now, see this ugly cactus right here I've got? Now that was a cutting. That was a cutting. Let's see, it might look better that way. Alright, see that? That was a cutting off of that one over here at the car lot. It's grown about 3 inches. I just transplanted it out of a small pot into a bigger pot, and I'm going to let it start growing out. Now that plant right there, as it sits, if I wanted to sell it, I could get about $39, $40 for it. The plant, the one, this is called the ugly cactus. And the one over at the car lot, it's over 6 foot tall. It's worth about $1,000. But here's the deal, the guy might give me that plant. He's going out of business. He ain't got no cars on the lot at all. Look at that. Isn't that nice? It is a ugly cactus. But see my cactus back there, my pear cactus? My ponytail palm, my chives. I'm going to take seeds from these chives. My senior moment, can't remember the name of that. Devil's backbone, my forever plant, my loquat, which is a Japanese plum. This, I can't remember the name. Y'all might tell me again what the name of this is. Look at this thing. I don't know. I don't know what the name. But the bottom of that thing's got a big old bulb on it, like, I don't know. It might just be a root. But I sure like to know what that is. I had people tell me different things, but I check it out and it's not like that. But anyway, I'm getting there. I want to get rid of this white monstrosity. I want to get rid of all these cans of, my daughter wants to give them to the school, but she's procrastinating. And what it is Purell hand sanitizer. And there's 1, 2, 3 cases of it, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 12 bottles in the case, so that's 36 bottles of, plus, I'm pretty sure we got a bottle of this. Now, let's see that here rained on. That's the big Purell sanitizer. There's several of those. But anyway, that's what I've been doing today. I'm proud as punch. Alright. Notice my background. I think from now on, when I'm just talking like this, that I will do it out here. The background looks a bit nicer than my junky room. Now, I have forgotten, no I haven't forgot what I was going to talk about. There was this young fella, looks like he was in his 20s. He made the comment, what's all the hoopla about veterans and old people? He said if you go to the VA clinic, there's just a bunch of old men in there and no women getting free treatments. So the tone of his voice sounds like he's got a problem with VA getting treatment, free treatment. Well, I wish I could go back and talk to that young man. Somebody needs to remind him that he's going to be an old man one day. Yes, he is. But about old veterans, a lot of people, I get a lot of thank you for your service when they see my hat. Well, I feel like I had a ball. But I like that thank you for your service. At one time, old men like me that can barely move around that they were the line between you and the bad guys, the bad countries. There's a lot of countries that would love to drag us down. Like the Soviet, well, it's not Russia, it was USSR. They didn't last 100 years. So that says a lot about their system. They didn't last 100 years. We've lasted 76, 86, 96. We've lasted 350 years. And we're still going. But there's a lot of people out there that don't think we deserve what we got. We are the best country in the world. And people just don't get it. And I shudder to think if there ever becomes a war, a major war again, the United States will be hard pressed to get enough soldiers to do the job. Because most of them let somebody else do it. They don't want to do it. And as far as that in the Vietnam War, that was a wrong war. And GI soldiers got treated like shit when they come home, come out in the airport in their uniform. People would spit on them and call them names and stuff. But let me tell you, most of those Vietnam veterans were draftees. They were drafted. They didn't have no choice in it. And back in that day, I thought we had business over there. But in hindsight, we didn't have no damn business over there whatsoever. But you gotta do what the government tells you got to do, especially in the military. But no, this is the greatest country in the world, and don't you forget it. If it wasn't for all those old men that you see running around now, you might be speaking Japanese or German. You might not be here. Adolf Hitler had a plan to bomb New York. Now, granted, we didn't suffer much as far as on the home front goes. like the rest of them did in Germany and France. They got bombed a lot. Well, we didn't because there's a lot of distance between us and them. They couldn't get over here. But there were submarines off the shore on the Atlantic, sinking ships nearby. But we were the line. I was the line. I didn't have a problem with it. There was no war going on. I don't know how I would have felt had a combat situation ever come up. I thought it was going to be that when they built the Berlin Wall, when the Russians built the Berlin Wall. I don't know how I would have done with that. I don't know how I would have reacted with bullets floating over my head. I don't know. It scares me to think about it. But then, when you want to see some real combat movies, look at that one about Saving Private Ryan. Look at The Longest Day. You know, there's some of them out there that really gets down to it, and The Band of Brothers. They didn't know where they were going to be sleeping. They didn't even know they were going to get sleep. They didn't even know they were going to be alive that night. They were eating out of a metal plate in the line that a cook, an army cook, cooked for them. And there was rations, sea rations. Now they got some pretty good stuff. That's how corned beef got started. They got corned beef a lot. They got Spam a lot. I love Spam. But I didn't have a problem. When I was in the service, they called it K-ration. I didn't have a problem with that. But you know what? I may have to be cutting this thing short. Yeah, that guy needs to come up, and any young people that think like that, there could be times come around that people are going to get wounded and die to keep this country the way it is. Granted, it's not perfect, but buddy, we've been here 350 years. Russia hasn't. Germany, they said they had 1,000-year right. No, it didn't work. Let's see, 33, 43. It worked about 12 or 13 years. And he didn't even suffer the consequences. He took the cheap shot way out. He shot himself. And had his wife, Eva Braun, shoot herself. Even shot his dog. But he didn't get, some of them got punished, you know. Senior moment, I think Hermann Goering, he didn't get hung, but he committed suicide. Heinrich Himmler committed suicide. Hayden Hodrick, he got assassinated. There's a lot of them. Adolf Eichmann, he got executed. But they did some terrible stuff. Now, some of our soldiers did terrible stuff too. There was an incident, probably more than one, but one I'm aware of. They had a group of German prisoners of war, and they were standing there, and a guy walked by and he said something, and the guy replied to him, a German prisoner replied to him in perfect English. And they got to talking and found out he lived in the United States. And when war broke out, he felt obligated to go back. But he wasn't going to join the army. He was going to go back about getting somebody with him to the States. And, but the German government got him, and he was drafted, and he was fighting on the German side. Well, he got captured along with about 20 other guys. Guess what? there was a sergeant standing there, an American sergeant, giving them each a cigarette so they could smoke a cigarette. And then, 5 minutes later, murdered them, shot them dead right there. Americans did that. And that's happened more than once over there. So no, we're not totally clean either. But we didn't start that dang war. Adolf Hitler did. The British suffered terribly. They were bombed nightly, civilians. But anyway, this is the best country in the world. I don't care what you think about it. The main thing I think about is you have to be patriotic to keep this country going. That's one thing I have a big problem with, is the way people talk about this country. If you don't like it, get the hell out. And there was even people that said, if Donald Trump wins, I'm going to leave this country. Well, guess what? They didn't leave. They were still here. And I'm not going to call their names. But one of them's on TV. Can't stand that lady. But that's just the way it is, you know, big people. That and racism. I can't stand racism. I can't, and I was a racist growing up. I was taught that way. All right. I guess that's going to be it for now. I'm proud of the way I got this corner fixed over here, and it's going to get better. It's going to get better. Anyway, that's my thoughts today, and for that sucker that was saying that to you, it's probably got a lot to do with the way you were raised. I know some kids right now that's being raised that will not be patriotic if it comes. They will protect their ass and nobody else's. But when the shit hits the fan, they'll come crying. Anyway, that's my thoughts for today. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it, and I'm so proud of my little corner here. I love it. I'm not done. I'm not done. All of my plants and stuff that I'm planning on planting is going to be set out in containers on the side of the house. That gets some nice sun. But anyway, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. See you in the next one. See ya. Okay, now